So chapter 6 is systems of linear inequalities. Last year in grade 10, you would have covered in Foundations 10 graphing linear functions, not inequalities. So we're going to do a quick review on what that means and what form they have to be in order for us to graph those. So the form we were most familiar with last year is y equals mx plus b as slope point form. M was our slope, so our rise over run. If I can spell. And our b was our y-intercept. So where it crosses our y-axis, our vertical axis. So number 1, y equals 3 over 5, x minus 6. So our m, our slope is 3 over 5, a positive, so I'm going to go up 3 and over 5. And my y-intercept is at negative 6. So I can go ahead and plot that point first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 6 is my y-intercept. And from that point, I want to go up 3 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can go backwards a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And add that extra point in there. And then just a matter of using a straight edge, connecting your line, adding arrows because we know our line segment is continuous. It goes on forever. The second one, y equals negative 4x plus 1. My slope is negative 4 over 1. Remember, if we don't actually see anything that is over, it's always over a 1. And our y-intercept, our b value, is a positive 1. So we can plot our y-intercept. And from there, we want to go down 4 and to the right 1. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, something like that. And then I can go 1 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 to go backwards and connect. With a straight edge again, yours will be much neater than mine. Number 3 and 4, you can see they're both not starting with y or y by itself. So that's our first goal, is to isolate those y's by themselves to get it into y equals mx plus b form. So number 3, we want the y by itself on this side, so we'll keep the 3y. And we want to add an x to both sides to get rid of that. So 3y equals x plus 12. But we need our y to have a 1 in front of it, or be by itself. So we need to divide everything by 3. So that our formula, those will cancel, is our equation y equals x over 3, or 1/3 x, plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. So my slope is 1 over 3, and my y-intercept is positive 4. So we'll plot that, 1, 2, 3, 4, and go up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. And then connect those and end your rays with arrows. Example 4, same thing. We have 2x plus 7y equals negative 35 over 2. So we need to get that y by itself. So 7y will be on this side, and we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And then divide everything by 7. When you're dividing something by 7, you want to multiply by the reciprocal. So here off to the side, negative 35 over 2 divided by 7 over 1 is really negative 35 over 2 times 1 over 7. So multiply by the reciprocal means you reciprocate, or you flip your numerator and your denominator by your divisor. So we will have our negative 35 over 14 is what we'll have here. And that is our y-intercept. So our slope is negative 2 over 7, down 2 over 7, and our y-intercept is negative 35 over 14. And simplified, if you use your calculator, is 2.5, which is negative 2.5, which is a lot easier to graph. So if we plot that point, our y-intercept is negative 2.5, which will be right here. We want to go down 2 over 7. So down to have two full points, but from our half mark. So make sure that you're going to be ending in a half mark. So here's 1, 2. This is going to be 2 down. And then over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's go up 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to find our other point. So we need to connect these 3 main ones here. A. Graph the linear function that goes through the point 4 and 3 and is perpendicular to y equals negative 2 over 3x minus 11. So remembering from last year, this term perpendicular means the negative reciprocal of the original slope. So if our slope here is negative 2 over 3, the negative of that would now make it positive, and when we reciprocate that, this flip will be 3 over 2, x minus 11. That's the equation that we want to be working with. What we want to use that point for is to plug that point in to our equation to solve for our y-intercept. So sorry, we don't actually know that that's minus 11 going through these points. We know the slope is the negative reciprocal. We have y equals 3 over 2x, and then plus b. We need to solve for what that y-intercept will be, plugging in our x and y values from our point here. So let's show our work. Y equals 3 over 2x plus b. Our x value is 4 and our y value is 3, so we want to substitute those in where we see those letters. 3 equals 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6, plus b. We need b by itself, so we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. So our new equation for b, equation of that line is y equals, our slope is 3 over 2, x minus 3, or plus our b value. So that's our final equation. We need to graph that. So our y-intercept is negative 3. And we need to go up 3 over 2. So up 3 over 2. Up 3 over 2. And connect that line. Example 6 says a company does custom paint jobs on cars and trucks. Due to the size of the workshop and the time it takes for each job to the daily output for the company is 7 vehicles in 1 day. We need to write a linear equation to model this information, and then we're going to sketch our graph. So the first thing we want to do is identify our variables. Let's say x and y. So let's let x equal the number of trucks painted. And let y equal the number of cars. So we know that the total, however many trucks we paint, however many cars we paint, has to be no more than 7. So x plus y equals 7 in 1 day. Let's change that into y equals mx plus b form, so subtract x from both sides. Y equals negative x plus 7. So our slope is negative 1 over 1, and our y-intercept is 7. So plotting our point at 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and going down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1 is going to be our graph. Since the situation is about numbers of trucks, x and y must be whole numbers or positive integers. We know we really won't actually have any of the graph down here or over here because I can't have negative amounts. My x is negative here and I can't have negative amounts of cars, and my y is negative here and I can't have negative amounts of trucks. I either have 0 or I have a positive number. So accurately, our graph will only actually exist right here in terms of the context of the question. Just be aware of that, what you're solving for. So for your assignment so far, before we get started on inequalities, there's a worksheet at the back that does not have to be handed in, just so that you can continue to review graphing linear functions. And when you feel confident with that and comfortable remembering what everything stands for, watch your video for 6.1 and then get started on the new chapter.